Hello everybody, myself Krishna. In this section, I am going to discuss with you about pathology of influenza virus infection. Let's start. First of all, I would like you introduce to some topic related word such as pathology, flu, infection like that. First, what is pathology? Pathology means the study of causes and effect of disease or injury. The word pathology comes from the Greek word pathos, it means disease, and logos, it means treatise, is equal to treatise of disease. It is the bridge between science and medicine. And then second word is virus. What is the virus? Viruses are microscopic parasites, generally much smaller than bacteria. They lack the capacity to thrive and reproduce outside of the host body. A virus is submicroscopic infectious agent that replicates only inside the living cells of an organism. There are millions of types of virus in the environment. Viruses are found in almost every ecosystem on Earth and are the most numerous type of biological entity. And then classification of virus show in this figure. And the next word is infection. And the question is, what is an infection? Infection is the invasion of organism's body tissue by disease causing agent. Their multiplication and the reaction of host tissue to the infectious agent and the toxins they produced. An infectious disease, also known as a transmissible disease and communicable disease, is an illness resulting from an infection. Infections are caused by infectious agents including viruses, bacteria, fungi, and infection symptoms such as fatigue, weight loss, fever, etc. And then next, flu. What is the flu? Flu or influenza is a contagious respiratory infection caused by a variety of flu virus. Symptoms of flu such as a headache and fever. I hope you are understand of this word very well. And then I would like to see you how to infect influenza virus. When human body is seasoning at a time, a water droplets throw in air. And then after flu virus has been come out of body by water drops. Different way to infect of virus like aerosol, vomit, see in this figure. And then details about influenza virus. This figure is indicate H1N1 virus type easily spread and rarely fatal, and H5N1 types spread slowly, often fatal. Then measure 4 types of influenza virus. First is influenza A, influenza B, influenza C, and influenza D. In virus classification, influenza virus are RNA viruses that make up 4 of the 7 genera of the family Orthomyxoviridia. Let's see details about influenza virus type A. This genus has one species, influenza A virus. Wild aquatic birds are the natural host for a large variety of influenza A. Occasionally, viruses are transmitted to other species and may then cause devastating outbreaks in domestic poultry or give rise to human influenza pandemic. The influenza A virus can be subdivided into different serotypes based on the antibody response to these viruses. The serotypes that have been confirmed in humans are H1N1, which caused Spanish flu in 1918 and swine flu in 2009. H2N2, which caused Asian flu in 1957, H3N2, which caused Hong Kong flu in 1968, and H5N1, which caused bird flu in 2004. H7N7, which has unusual zoonotic potential. H1N2 endemic in human, pigs and birds. and other is H9N2, H7N2, H7N3, H10N7. And a great thing was H6N1, which only infected one person who recovered. How to create infection in woman lungs by influenza A virus. Influenza virus are responsible for acute febrile respiratory disease. When deaths occur, definitive diagnosis required viral isolation because on characteristics viral inclusions are seen. Second type is influenza virus B. This gene has one species, influenza B virus. Influenza B almost exclusively infect women and is less common than influenza A. The only other animals known to be susceptible to influenza B infection are seals and ferrets. This type of influenza mutate at a rate 2 to 3 times slower than type A and consequently is less genetically diverse with only one influenza B serotype. Then, as a result of this lack of antigenic diversity, a degree of immunity to influenza B is usually acquired at an early age. However, influenza B mutates enough that lasting immunity is not possible. This reduced rate of antigenic charge combined with its limited host range, inhibiting cross-species antigenic shift, ensure the pandemic of influenza B do not occur. Let's see what is different between flu A and B. Unlike type A flu virus, type B flu is found only in women. Type B flu may cause a less severe reaction than type A flu virus, but occasionally type B flu can still be extremely harmful. Influenza type B viruses are not classified by subtype and do not cause pandemic. The next other type is influenza C. This genus has one species, influenza C virus, which infects human, dog and pigs, sometimes causing both severe illness and local epidemics. However, influenza C is less common than the other types and usually only causes a mild disease in children. And the last one is influenza virus D. This genus has only one species, influenza D viruses, which infect pig and cattle. The virus has the potential to infect women, although no such cases have been observed yet. And the last topic is pathology of influenza virus. Influenza virus replicates in the epithelial cell throughout the respiratory tree, with the virus beginning recoverable from both the upper and lower respiratory tract of people naturally or experimentally infected. As histologic change are non-specific, histologic analysis alone is insufficient to make a specific diagnosis. Diagnosis typically required supporting diagnostic tests such as a viral isolation, rapid diagnostics tests including RT-PCR, serologic studies, or biopsy or autopsy tissue section confirmed by in situ hybridization or immunohistochemical technique. Non-fetal influenza virus infections predominantly involve the upper respiratory tract and trigeminus, but fetal cases of influenza usually show evidence of pneumonia. This review concentrates on the pathology of lower respiratory tract, the once and future pandemic influenza. Influenza A viruses infect large number of warm-blooded animals, including wild blood, domestic birds, pig, horses, and humans. Influenza viruses can switch host to form new lineages in novel host. The most significant of this event is the emergence of antigenically novel influenza virus in humans, leading to pandemics. Influenza pandemics have been reported for at last 500 years, with inter-pandemic intervals averaging approximately 40 years. A small secret world, microbiology. Thank you, everyone.